Are you aware of the risks lurking within your technology landscape? Join us today as we uncover the truth behind shadow IT and how it can impact your security, compliance, and operational efficiencies. In today's session, we will explore some real-world examples that illustrates what shadow IT entails, its underlying causes, potential benefits, and inherent risks. Let's start off with, have you heard of shadow IT? And how it's a big problem for enterprise businesses. It refers to software, hardware, or IT resources that are in the enterprise network without your IT team's knowledge. And it's very important for us to differentiate shadow IT with malicious assets, because shadow IT is not malware per se. It is unsanctioned resources deployed by your authorized users. Here's a few examples to really paint the picture. Let's say your employees are sharing files from their own personal Dropbox or thumb drive instead of using the company-approved file sharing system. Or they're possibly joining meetings in Zoom instead of the company standard, which may be WebEx. Or even using innocuous grammar checks, or maybe using their own personal mobile and laptop devices in the enterprise network. Unfortunately for businesses and their security teams, around 80% of employees are preferring to use shadow IT because of its quick adaptability and adoption across the team, as well as its perceived superior functionality. Some of the employees may even be recommended to use these different platforms and applications from their clients and partners, maybe to enhance collaboration on projects per se. The trend here that highlights for us is that there is a high demand in efficiency and flexibility in today's workstation. The flip side here is that, as I mentioned before, shadow IT is operating outside the awareness and protection of the IT team. So any vulnerabilities that could have been tied to them have gone unaddressed, making shadow IT prime targets for adversaries. And according to the article published in 2023 by IBM, the average cost of a data breach in a U.S. company is around $9.4 million. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because shadow IT is actually a key component that increases the likelihood of a data breach. Now, let's dive into some key points on shadow IT, such as the risks and challenges that it brings forth. Here's what you need to know. There is increase in exposure. On average, organizations that undergo an attack surface management review discover that they have 30% more exposed assets than they were initially aware of. And as mentioned, since there are so many new assets that are coming into their vision, there was a lot of vulnerabilities that could have gone under their radar as well, making it a key risk to the business. Another risk is data insecurity. With storing and accessing data across multiple shadow IT applications and devices, it poses the concern of data inconsistency because you're having this data scattered across multiple different resources, and they could be accessed and distributed as unofficial, invalid, and outdated data. Another risk is compliance. With regulations out there such as HIPAA, PCI DSS, and GDPR, they have very strict regulations on handling personally identifiable information. And if you're not compliant, you could risk paying a hefty fee, you could risk your own reputation being on the line, and even facing legal action against your business. And last, but definitely not least, because there's a whole lot of risks out there with shadow IT, but the fourth one that we're going to be exploring today is business efficiencies. Not all of shadow IT or multiple different applications and resources that are shadow IT is going to seamlessly integrate into your IT infrastructure. And this could really hinder workflows and the sharing of information. Because if your IT department steps in and tries to change anything on the network or any connecting resources, it could really impede or completely disrupt a relied upon shadow IT process from executing that the team really relies on to continue their workflow. With all of these risks in mind, I also want to pull out a stat here from an article published in 2022, which covers the state of attack surface management. And it shows that 8 in 10 organizations have fallen victim to shadow IT compromise within the last year. And even though the risks are very apparent and they've only been increasing, so has the usage of shadow IT, because employees now have very simple and easy access to SaaS-based platforms. They're also using their personal mobile and laptop devices on the enterprise network with the shift to the remote workforce. So that's also a very scary but transparent view for us to have on the risks that shadow IT can bring forth. Now, with a clear understanding of the risks of shadow IT, it's also important for us to consider the benefits that may come to the team and the company for us to address it accordingly. So let's cover some of the benefits. Starting off with an increase in agility. So shadow IT enables your employees to adapt quickly and adopt to different platforms that they choose. So they're also leveraging new technologies that are going to increase the agility of the business. There's also the benefit of an increased flexibility with your employees, because now that they're leveraging what they deem are the tools that best fit their role, they're performing in a more productive way, and they're also having a more exciting experience that they're more satisfied with. Another benefit here is streamlining your IT assets, because with shadow IT, it's reducing the costs and resources you need to onboard new IT assets onto your company. So taking the risks and benefits into account, it's time for us to effectively mitigate shadow IT. Now let's talk about mitigations. So we've seen that even though there are a lot of risks tied to shadow IT, we can't ignore the benefits that the team gives back for us as feedback. We don't want to completely eliminate shadow IT because we see that a lot of them maybe work more productively and they're more satisfied with their workflow. So to address that, we can then bring shadow IT that we currently have identified along the way and align it with our current standard IT security protocols. So while still taking the team's feedback into the benefits, while still keeping a priority on security. Another mitigation is implementing different tools that are out there to really help us addressing shadow IT, such as ASM or attack surface management solutions that will continuously monitor our internet-facing assets or anything that has been exposed along the way to also discover and identify the vulnerabilities there so you can assess them and mitigate them accordingly. Another tool is going to be cloud asset security brokers. This tool allows you to establish secure connections between your employees and your cloud assets, while also implementing security measures such as encryption, access controls, and malware detections along the way. And it also has some abilities to continuously fetching your cloud assets, so anything that had been previously unknown will come to light. By understanding the risks and benefits that comes with shadow IT and implementing the appropriate security measures, organizations can harness the advantages while mitigating the vulnerabilities. ensuring security and efficiency in their technology landscape. Thank you. If you like this video and want to see more like it, please like and subscribe. If you have questions, please drop them in the comments below.